I died for 3 minutes. That's what the doctors said. 3 minutes of nothing. 3 minutes where machines screamed and hands pressed into my chest, trying to pull me back. But I wasn't gone. Not really. I was somewhere else. It looked like a train station, but not one I've ever seen. Everything was golden and dim, soaked in a light that didn't come from anywhere. The silence was thick, like the air itself was holding its breath. And then I saw him, standing alone, hands in his pockets, calm like someone who had waited a very long time and finally wasn't waiting anymore. I didn't know him. I'd never seen his face. But when he looked at me, I felt something deep in my bones say, "There you are." He smiled and said, "You came early." I tried to speak but couldn't. It felt like my body wasn't mine, like I was watching someone else float. He walked toward me, slowly, gently, like approaching a memory that might disappear if he moved too fast. "It's not time yet," he said, "but when it is, I'll be right here." Then he stepped close, so close I could feel warmth in a place I didn't think warmth existed, and he whispered something I didn't understand, not in words, but in feeling. A sentence I still carry in my chest, even though I'll never know what it meant. And then everything snapped. Sound crashed into me like a tidal wave. Lights, voices, screaming. I was back, alive. They called it a miracle, but I didn't feel saved. I felt torn, like something was unfinished. For months, I saw him in dreams. Always the same golden silence, always the same words. And then 5 years later, I met him at a bookstore. I dropped a book. He picked it up. Same face, same voice, same warmth. He smiled and said, "Feels like we've met before." And I nearly forgot how to breathe. We talked, then met again, and then he kissed me, and the world fell into place like it had always been waiting for that exact moment. He never remembered. Not the fog, not the station, not me. But I did. I married him with the weight of another world on my shoulders. I loved him with the quiet terror of someone who knows too much. Sometimes, at night, he says things in his sleep. Names I don't know, words I've never heard. He hums songs I've never played. And once, in our attic, I found a drawing, a station, the same one I saw, same arches, same light, same silence. It was dated 1983, 15 years before he was born. And at the bottom was his signature. I said nothing. Because some stories aren't meant to be told. They're meant to be lived. Even if they already happened. Even if they haven't yet. Even if they only exist in the space between heartbeats. Sometimes I wonder if I was supposed to die that day. If maybe I broke something by coming back. Because the longer we're together, the more strange things begin to happen. Like the night he sat up in bed and whispered, "Don't go back to the river," even though we've never been near one. Or when he looked at me, just for a second, like he didn't recognize me, like I was someone else. Once, we drove past a road we'd never taken. He stared at it like it hurt to look. He said, "This is where it ended last time." I asked him what he meant. He didn't answer. He just turned on the radio and changed the subject. I started writing things down, little details, phrases he mutters in his sleep, dreams I can't shake, numbers that show up over and over again. Hotel room 217, flight 217, a receipt total 21.70. I Googled the date, 21st of July, 1970. A woman disappeared that day. From a station no one remembers anymore. Her name was never found, but her drawing was in that same old sketchbook, folded behind the page of the station, and in the corner, tiny and careful, my handwriting. I'm not afraid of him. I'm afraid of what we are, because I don't think this is the first time. I think we've done this before. I think we keep finding each other over and over in cities that don't exist, in lives we don't remember, in deaths we aren't supposed to survive. And maybe